G'day guys, we are back on our Woolloongabba project. So this one is flying along. The house raisers have done a sensational job. They finished all the house sliding and raising last week. So Shane and the team from Steel House Raising, as usual, knocked it out of the park. So the house is basically back on its new feet now. It's all in position. During that process, we actually discovered that there was a couple of rotten beams up in the floor structure. That the house has had a bathroom renovation, some work done in the past. And they'd actually been covered up with some new timber, and when we raised the house and it moved around a little bit, it exposed this rotten timber. So as part of that process, we've installed three small little steel beams, which means the house is absolutely perfect now. All the bearers are all well supported, everything's nice and solid, and the clients won't have to worry about doing anything with that in the future. So with this one, it's a lot different to our normal projects. We've slid it, we've lifted it. We're setting everything up so the house can be built in underneath in the future, but we're not actually doing any of that work now. And all of this work is really just so the clients can split this block of land, get the plans sealed and a new title, and end up with a new block of land out the back here. So now that the house is raised and that work's finished, the guys have been on site this week. We got Jimbo from Herbie's Earth Moving here doing an unbelievable job. He's such a good operator. He's working with one of our guys, Tom, and they're now digging all the foundations for the retaining wall. So we've got quite a large foundation system around three sides, or three perimeters of the existing house. We're holding up about 2.2 metres of ground on three sides. So we'll be using the AFS Ready Wall retaining wall system, so the permanent PVC formwork. We use it on all of our jobs now. It's absolutely fantastic. Eliminates the need for block layers, delays. It means that we can pour the footings and we can go straight onto that work ourselves. Our carpenters install it. It's absolutely fantastic. And then the boys are just getting started now. We've got a new little retaining wall to do down the left-hand boundary of this site, which our new driveway will pour up against. So what we've been doing this morning is myself, my supervisor's been here, one of our lead carpenters, Tom, and we've been going through and checking all the finished heights of all the concrete. So the foundations, the retaining walls, the driveway, the crossover. And it's a really important thing to do, because even though we get detailed surveys, the designers and architects do a great job of putting all heights on the drawings, what's on drawings sometimes can be a little bit different to what actually happens on site. And there's lots of things to take into consideration. Like this side here, we've removed a lot of rock, a lot of existing concrete, a lot of structures, which has lowered the ground height. So we've just found by checking all of our heights this morning, if we set everything up as per the drawings, it's actually going to create a dam in the backyard here, because we are on a slope. We do catch a lot of groundwater from surrounding properties. So we've just done a full review. We've checked all the heights. I'm going to talk to the designer today. I've already made a phone call to the engineer, and we're just going to try and adjust things a little bit, because the last thing we want to do is finish this site, finish this project, and have water coming down and causing issues with neighbouring properties. So on all of our projects, things like this are really important to us, making sure we get the drainage right. Not just, like, obviously the plans are there for us to follow, but making sure that we're checking everything enough and coming up with solutions and giving people options and just working through things to get the best result for everyone. It doesn't cost us any more to do this. It's a little bit of time here and there, but it's what makes DPS Constructions a quality builder and limits the, I guess, situations our business gets into with neighbouring properties and complaints from people and things, because we're considering everyone, not just our own project, but the neighbouring properties as well. I think that's really, really important. So when you're choosing a builder, you really need to make sure that you are choosing a builder that takes all these things into consideration, because once the build's finished, you don't want to be getting complaints from your neighbours as well about overland flow and drainage not being correct and all those types of things. And if you're a builder out there, so many builders are just snowed under and they're focused and they don't spend enough time on site. They leave it up to trades and they follow drawings, and it ends up being wrong. So without physically being on site here, putting the time and the effort in, correct supervision, the correct team, everybody knowing what's going on, and ultimately everyone being in the same page, which is getting the best outcome for everyone. And for me, that's not just about the client, it's for my business, making sure we set everything up correctly so that water comes down, they catch the water from other properties, it gets to the pits where it's meant to be, it runs out the driveway, it gets to the road, and it doesn't give anybody any problems. That's our goal on every single job, which means we can live with peace of mind knowing that everything we do is correct and suiting not just our own clients, but the owners of the surrounding properties as well.